In this tutorial we're going to walk you through building your look using the PhotoMasterKit. So you can use the PhotoMasterKit with the actions, or you can use the actions on their own. So say you've got your photo loaded, you can go ahead and just apply some looks here, or we can load up our PhotoMaster action. So we can go to the top right hand corner of the panel here and we click on this arrow. Now if you've installed your actions into your Photoshop directory, they will appear down here. You can see PhotoMaster there, or you can simply click on load actions and we'll choose our PhotoMaster action. We'll just drag this folder to the top. So now we can click on this triangle and click on launch PhotoMaster. So click play. So the first thing it's prompting us to do is to open up the PhotoMaster PSD file. So click continue, open the PhotoMaster file, Photoshop file. Now the next step is to select our photo. So we can select the photo we want to work with. Now what Photoshop is going to do is going to build a template over here in our layer stack to work with. So the next window that pops up, it is just telling us that this is the size it's going to set up our canvas to. So with a lot of photos you take in, the pixel resolution might be way too high for what we want to work with. If we're just uploading the images to the web, we want to probably keep them small. So let's change this to a height of 800 pixels. Click OK. So now our Photoshop file is set up and we have our template here to the right. So let's just walk through this. We'll go down the order here and talk through what we have. So the top layer, we have our original photo. So if we go ahead and just apply a look, so we'll just apply smile. We'll set the opacity of that layer to 100. So if we tick on our top layer original photo, you'll see what it's done. It's a quick preview between the original photo to the left and the photo that we're currently working on to the right. So at any time, if you want to compare against the original, just tick this layer on. So we'll delete that. And now we will go down the order here. So our top folder, we have color. So inside this folder, we have another 5 folders where we get more control over using color. So in the top 3 folders, we have some preset looks for red, blue and green. So if we go inside red, for example, the top 2 folders we have are previews of these 12 folders. So if I just tick on this layer, red preview 1 to 6, you'll see it's given us 6 boxes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they're all numbered. These numbers here represent the numbers here. So we can click on red preview 1 to 6 and we can just move this folder around to see the effect over the top of the image. So say, let's have a look at this one. Say we like number 7, we can just turn that off, click on number 7 and the effect is applied. So what you'll notice is if I just tick this preview back on, the opacity of these layers is set to 100. Click on 7, this is set to 50, so it doesn't show you the full opacity effect. So we can simply drag it to 0, then to 100, so we can just get something that we're happy with. And so you can continue to stack these looks with any other of the folders. We have blue, so you can just tick on any of these layers, turn the opacity up or down. Now what we can also do, if we just turn these off and say we'll go to red preview, tick this back on, inside our PhotoMaster action folder, just open this. We have 3 options here. We have preview box center, preview box scale, preview box rotate. Say if we move our preview box up here, if we play this action, it will center all the preview boxes inside all these folders here to the middle. So if I just click play on preview box center, it will move them all back to the center. So if I go inside our blue folder, well, I'll just turn that off and click this one on, they're all centered. what we can also do, preview box scale, click play. So what we can do is scale the preview boxes, and that will scale all of them. So if I turn this folder off and turn this one on, it's the same size. And again, we can rotate them just like that. So next we have our black and white folder. You can apply some quick black and white looks to your image. So one is normal, and then we have some more extreme looks. Don't forget, you can adjust the opacity of these at any time. Just click and hold on the text opacity and drag to the left, drag to the right to build something that you're happy with. So just turn that off. The folder below we have boost colors. This gives you more control over individual colors in the image. So our top folder, we can boost our overall color look. So we just click that on. You'll see the saturation of all the colors has increased. So we can drag that down or up, bring it back to 0. The folder below, individual color boost, we can target individual colors. So say we want to boost the red in this image, we'll stick this folder on, and you'll see the saturation of the red's increased. But this layer is also set to opacity 50%, so we can click and drag it to 100, 0. You can see the effect there. We can also tick on blue, add more blue to the image. So there's great control you can have by mixing layers in the color folder. So we'll just turn that off. So next we have our contrast folder. So this gives you good flexibility over working with the contrast in the image. It has a similar workflow to the color folders above. So we have two folders here, contrast for dark images, contrast for light images. So the best thing to do is quickly look at your photo and assess whether you think overall that's a dark image or a light image, and select the appropriate folder. So I'll say that this image is slightly on the darker side. I'll go in here, and again we have our preview boxes that we can move around like that, or we can just go down the line and tick on a look that we're happy with. So we can of course mix them again. We can turn on 9, we can turn on 11, we can adjust the opacity, just like that. And then if we're happy with the contrast, we can then jump into adding more contrast looks and adding color, building our look. So what we can do, we can go inside of contrast, say we want to add a bit of sharpness, add a bit more detail, we can play HDR strong, click play, and you'll see in our layer palette it's created a HDR strong layer, the opacity set to 50%, and the blend mode to luminosity. So luminosity will blend the contrast and brightness of the image down onto the original photo, or down to the layer beneath. So we can adjust the opacity of this, bring it to 0, drag it up. We can then apply some color on the side here. So we can bring this up the top here, drag the opacity to 100, 0. So we'll get a colour that's a bit stronger. Let's just try warming. Bring that up, drag that to 100. So see that's added, let's reduce some of the red tone, so it's created a bit of a creamy overtone. We can add another one. Let's try cinema. We can drag this above warming. So you'll see that's added, if I drag the opacity from 50 to 0, just look at the highlights, it's added some cyan tones to the highlights. Just like that. So don't forget, at any time we can quickly compare against the original in the top here. And when we think we're finished, we've got a look that we like, we can head to the top of the contrast folder and click on Finished Sharpen. Click play, and it'll bring up the Smart Sharpen window. I recommend using a radius of 0.3 and this is what you can experiment here with, the amount. It's something that looks good. Okay, and so we have our top layer set to normal and 100%, so nothing underneath will show. This is just a preview of what we've built so far. So if I click on our original photo visibility underneath, and I'll shift click to hide this mask, and then go back to our final sharpening layer and turn this on and off, you can see the photo that we've built, the image that we've built, versus the original. And don't forget to save out your file, either once the PhotoMaster has finished building the template or when you've finished building your look. And that's it. I hope you have fun and good luck.